listening to the Vassals of Kingsgrave, Korra edition, for episode 7 of season 2.
No, it's episode 6.
Shit, okay. You are listening to the Vassals of Kingsgrave, episode 6 of season 2, The Sting. And we are absent Amin, so this is Katie.
This is Michal.
And this is Stephanie.
And I can already tell there's going to be some polarizing opinions among the group as to this episode. So, Michal, after that explosive... Good, go ahead, tell us.
I thought it was really good. I thought it surprised me a good few times. I gasped when Mako went to the triads. And I thought the scene when Mako runs into Asami and to see Varric there was really well done. I thought it was relatively subtle how Mako, it wasn't subtle, I guess, but it was cool enough how Mako realized that Varric was behind everything. And we got to see Asami be totally awesome and figure out how to drive a boat really quickly, so yeah.
Stephanie, your rebuttal.
I gave it a 1. Why'd they have to resurrect the love triangle? Why?
I don't really think it was... For a second there, I was really nervous. I was like, no, Asami, don't. But, she was in a really low place. She knew they'd broken up. And I really don't think that the love triangle is resurrected.
Oh, I completely agree. I mean, obviously when you're feeling very vulnerable and there's this newly single dreamboat that you have a history with and you still have feelings for, you're gonna kiss him. But, and his response was ideal, but I mean, just why? On a Watson, or on a Doylist level, why?
So you're giving it a 1, and Michal, you're giving it a 5?
Yeah, sure. You know me. I'm not great with breeding, but I on a scale of I didn't like it to I really liked it, I really liked it.
All right. I'll come
Honestly, Civil Wars was worse than this episode, but yeah, this is still a 1.
Wait, seriously? Just because of the love triangle thing?
Yes.
But it makes so much sense emotionally.
It makes sense, and I'm done with that. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I know,
but I didn't see... I would maybe agree with you if Mako's reaction had been... I mean, first of all, I don't even know if Asami, really has feelings for Mako still, because I think it's... Again, I mean, she was seriously, that was the lowest she's ever been, and he was right there and whatever. And like you said, if Mako had, handled it and the other way, then just, okay, moving on, I'm still your friend, we're good, I maybe would be more concerned, but, I didn't think there was anything to indicate that this is coming back. I thought it was just a character moment on Asami's part, a show,
I'm just not interested in seeing more love drama if it's not between Mako and Korra.
I'll come down.
I could just see the fan wank everywhere, and my God.
I saw that gif of Asami kissing Mako before I watched the episode, and I was so mad I had to get up and pace around my hotel room a few times. No, but I'll come down in between you two, and I'll give it a solid 3 or 3.5. There's some dumb stuff in this episode, you guys.
Yeah, there is a lot of dumb stuff.
But I thought it was a great character episode, and it had an airbender pace. It was very leisurely. We weren't jumping back and forth between 10 different plot lines. It was really just 2 characters on a quest doing their thing. I was expecting to completely hate it, given what I saw on Tumblr going into it, and was pleasantly surprised. So, to me, this is still a bit like last week's, which is very meat and potatoes. It's a middling episode. We're on our way to bigger things. But for what it's worth, I'll give it a 3 and then a 0.5 for Shady Shin.
Yeah, Shady Shin.
Shady Shin!
I thought of you.
Oh my God, that's been my headcanon for so long that he's sad he can't get his bending back.
It's a date!
He has a date! I can't believe that the guy that Korra kicked his ass in episode 1 of the first season is now the leader of the Triple Threat. That's really depressing.
I know.
Is that him?
That's Viper. That's the waterbender whose head she froze.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, Two-Toed Ping was there too.
Oh my God, that was hysterical.
Oh my God, that guy.
I will say that's
dumb, but it was funny. I like when the show just takes time to do silly.
No, I loved them coming back. I loved it.
And like Mako being like, I hate those guys and their mustaches. I just love that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I thought Seychelle Gabriel's voice acting was the best that it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
I think I felt worse for Asami, and that's even possible that I've ever felt for her before. And I think you're right, Mihal, that like I don't think it's a revival of the love triangle. I think it's one half manipulation on the writer's part, and one half a complete character moment of vulnerability. And I like that he didn't. Like, he acted how you would expect someone to react in that situation, which is kind of embarrassed, but trying to be comforting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, Bolin is the worst this week. He is the worst.
Do you think that was a really great moment when Bolin was confronting Mako in the bathtub?
Oh no, I'm glad he stood up to Mako. I don't mind him giving, like, for once him being a jerk, because that's something we haven't ever seen out of Bolin. I don't appreciate, however, him sniffing Ginger's ass after she told him off and just whining about mixed signals and how he feels like she's sending him all these vibes when clearly she has zero interest in him. And it's like, oh my god, Bolin, when did you turn into such a fucking creep?
Yeah.
That really made me uncomfortable, and I was like, I don't want Bolin to turn into that guy.
Yes, that entitled guy.
I think they're doing it as part of the movie star thing, and I would be shocked to teeny little pieces if he doesn't grow out of that really soon. I'm okay with it for now, and it's not where I would have preferred Bolin go, because I feel like his naivete has increased even from last season.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, I'm like okay with like his having no way to handle the lifestyle, the whatever it is. And obviously part of the reason he's acting like that is not because he's Bolin, it's because of the stereotype of an actor that they're putting into the show.
Right.
But for now, I think I'm okay with it enough for now. I feel like by the time they're all like, hey, where the hell's Korra? He'll probably be like, oh, let's go find Korra. But can I just say that I love that Pabu and Naga are in the movie, because that was amazing.
Joji and Rotan, Arctic Panda and Snow Raccoon. Was it Tuckety? That's pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, the serial film thing. I was trying to remember, as soon as they did the shot of Bolin shadow fighting, he moves off screen and it just shows his shadow doing all these amazing fight moves. I was like, I've seen that in a silent film before, and I'm pretty sure it's the original Sinbad movie. And it was a good film moment. They obviously did their research for old serial films of the 40s. I just hated Bolin in this episode. I couldn't get much enjoyment out of it.
Yeah. But Asami was the best.
Asami was the best. Varric, I think, was the other best.
I was expecting them to go really all out with it, like, oh my goodness, big confrontation scene, and Varric is, yes, you've unveiled my evil plan, whatever, blah blah blah. I don't even know if like Varric is really doing that like super creepy thing, or if Mako's just seeing him in a totally new light now.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's just the POV shot.
Yeah. But I thought that was really well done. And poor Asami, oh my god, and I just realized he's like doing the whole thing so that he could get Future Industries, and oh my goodness.
Right. Well, I thought that he's also trying to force the president's hand, because he bombed his own ship, and then when the detectives are talking, they're saying, well, the the quote-unquote northerners attacked the shipping vessel when it was in Republic City's jurisdiction. So he's trying to start something. He's trying to frame the Northerners for attacking Republic City waters to drag them into the war, which is smart. I'm not sure how he stole 200 giant mecha tanks within the span of a couple of hours, but I'm willing to roll with it.
I don't know. Maybe he has some former equalists in his employ who have experience driving the mecha tanks.
I was half expecting it to be the lieutenant when he was like, I know the guys to go to.
Lieutenant's dead.
Lieutenant's not dead.
Yes, he is.
Did they confirm that?
They did?
I don't think so, but I mean, like, he'd lost it all, and like, so yeah, like, do the math. He's like,
but Naga shoved him off a mountainside. He fell off the roof.
Well, if they say that bloodbending can be used to crush internal organs, I mean, yes, the lieutenant is very durable, but maybe he's not that durable.
Oh. I wonder, like, since we're just kind of unveiling Varric as our big bad, it makes me question Unalaq as the season's villain.
Well, I thought the animation was all over the place in this
Yeah.
episode. I thought some of Asami's facial animation during the fight scene was horrible.
Yeah.
But and then once or twice I was like, oh, that's really pretty. Like the end shot with Korra, I thought that was all beautiful. But Unalaq. Unalaq's expression when he comes out of the spirit portal and they're like, the Avatar's dead. And he has a really, really interesting expression on his face. And I thought that was very well done because he looks concerned at the same time that he looks
dismayed and slightly disgusted.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really, really good piece of animation there.
I'm not convinced he is. I mean, I feel like Varric is inarguably a big bad, but Unalaq, he's taken the subordinate villain position, and I can't be convinced that he won't come around or be reasonable in some way.
He's right. Okay, so that's interesting because he's wrong, right? In like the show, he's wrong to be trying to be chief and all that.
Right. Well, that's the show's limited logic, and it's in that, okay, because it's almost like they treat the fact that he stole the throne as the step too far. Like, okay, you were kind of within your rights to occupy the South. You were arguably within your rights to want to protect the Southern Spirit Portal. But the fact that you took the throne from your brother, well, that legally it makes all the difference. But still, the way the show treats that is, we should be outraged on Tonrak's behalf, is really weak to me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just like you don't
care about Tonrak.
Well, that too, but like I guess no, you're right. They do keep coming back to that, and I guess that's all this stuff actually started with that. So it's like, yeah, he's doing all this, but like all of that is predicated on the
the
not
fact that
illegal, but sneaky.
Yeah, it's like the fact that he's an illegitimate ruler, by extension, makes all of his actions illegitimate.
Right. Exactly.
Which, as an adult, I can say, well, not really, but I guess sometimes I have to remind myself that Korra and Avatar are a little simpler in their worldview. And so, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I understand I don't know, because it's not like we've really gotten anybody else's perspective on this. It's pretty much just Korra. And I don't know what she ever thought of about this to begin with, but from her perspective, I guess I understand why. Like, okay, so your chief is your chief, and your chief is your chief. Like, it doesn't, like, you don't really care or whatever, but that's the fact of it all. And then to find out that, like, that understanding was wrong. And I guess people in the Southern Water Tribe could feel this way. Like, not only is he doing stuff that you don't agree with, but all of those years that he was the chief and you just went along with it, like, you feel stupid. You feel duped, you know?
Mm-hmm.
On another note, I thought the fight scene on the speedboats was really well done.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's good that they are trying new things, and my favorite part of the whole episode might be when they are thrown up in the air, and my stomach dropped out in that shot. I felt it, and like when the boat goes up and you can just see it on Asami's face that it's painful, and then Mako crashes down. It's like that feeling when you fall in a dream and all the blood rushes out of your legs into your head, and I felt it. It was wonderful.
I was actually like, something I do give this episode credit for in that fight, like there were parts when like Mako was turned around and it was Asami driving, and then on the like wide part of the boat there was a triad guy in front of her and then Mako. I half expected them to cut to like Asami being like burned by Mako's crossfire or whatever, and I wouldn't have been surprised, and I don't know, but I give them credit for the fact that I thought that was possible.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Amin posted his review on his Tumblr and asked me to read it out. It's called The Legend of Mako, an episode review. Mako continues to follow clues in the sand, being the only competent member of the police force. Mako's boss continues to yell at him while he's mocked by stupid mustache duo. Mako and his brother go through a sibling spat. Mako's brother turns into a sexually assaulting douchebag, probably partly influenced by his Eric, another sexually assaulting douchebag threatening Mako's ex-girlfriend number
Yes, I told you this fanfic can happen.
Mako is on an intersection route for trouble with Varric, their competition symbolized by the balance of influence over Bolin. Mako's ex-girlfriend number 2 has amnesia. Mako's ex-girlfriend number 1 attempts to move on on a newly single Mako, but the mockster isn't one to jump into a rebound relationship. Mako's ex-girlfriend number 2's uncle is vaguely disappointed. So that was a meme, ladies and gentlemen.
And he was vaguely disappointed.
Oh, and next week we have an hour?
Yeah, next week is...
Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then we have a break.
Do we?
I'm looking it up right now. I thought we did.
So, should we talk about Korra?
Yeah, let's talk about Korra.
Oh yeah, the end. Go ahead.
Well, at first I was rolling my eyes over the amnesia, but I think this is a nice opportunity for more development from her.
Yeah, I mean, I am never ever. This is another thing I did hear about. Like, I'm never a fan of amnesia ever, but you know what? They just needed to make this not be long.
That's the only reason I'm not, because I was really mad when this episode ended, and I was like, I think the show just lost me. I was genuinely baffled that anyone would choose that. But the way I came back to it is that we've seen in the previews that Korra answers that old woman's question, who, do you know who you are? And she says, I'm Korra, I'm the Avatar. So it's obvious that the amnesia thing is more it's more of a plot device to get her to explore her past lives than a reason to angst.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily. And if that's the case, then it's not going to last longer than, at best, the next 2 episodes, and then she's going to get her memory back and she's going to be repurposed. But if they had done this and it's like, we had to watch Mako crying on her and like, don't you remember?
Oh my god.
Then I would have been really angry because it's a dumb plot device. But if I guess that's what they felt was needed to be done to get her to go on a transformation quest, then, whatever.
Yeah, right. I mean, like you said, I actually thought that the voice acting and the animation were very well done in that scene.
How do we feel about Bayfall? I mean, it's frustrating because we know Mako's right, and on the one hand, he is a beat cop who's dragging 2 civilians into an interrogation room and screaming that he has evidence that nobody else has seen. I guess I sympathize. I can kind of sympathize with Bayfong, but it's disappointing that the only thing she's been able to do this season is scream at Mako for being an idiot.
Do you think she's gonna promote him to detective after this?
I think once he breaks the case with Varric, I think she'll have to, and then good job, rookie. This is the plot of LA Confidential. You've made detective.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I enjoyed the episode. I'm hoping that this is just a second season. What would you call this?
Like a sophomore slump.
Yeah,
that's it.
Patches mentioned this in his review on Vulture.com, which is that the show is consistently entertaining. It is not consistently fulfilling this season. And it's like, I need something emotionally to fulfill me because I keep thinking about what you said last or 2 weeks ago, Mihal, when you said you were crazed about season 1, and I felt the exact same way, where I had Korra on the brain nonstop the entire time that show was on the air. And now that season 2 is here, I find myself barely thinking about Korra at all when I'm not watching the show, and that's, for me, the biggest disappointment right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Sad face.
My friend met Mike.
What? Really?
Yeah, they did this thing where on Saturday, Nick was going... So, at the panel, Nick showed episode 1 of Beginnings, and then they were going around and snagging cosplayers, and then they held them a party in the Nickelodeon HQ, and of course Mike and Joaquin Dos Santos were there. Nope, Brian and Joaquin Dos Santos were there, and then they got to watch the second episode also, and it was this whole party of cosplayers. So my friend was there.
They posted those pictures online. What was she dressed up as?
I think she changed, but she was Lynn, but I think she changed before the thing.
Is this Autumn?
Yeah, Autumn.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Mihal's friend Autumn, who...
Yeah, oh, my friend! Yes, my friend. I've met her twice, but, you know.
Well, okay, she's an acquaintance, Mihal's acquaintance from Pabucast, another Legend of Korra podcast.
I don't think we have that many crossover listeners.
Okay, well, the 5 of you who are out there and listening to us on VOK, please go over to our sister podcast, Pabucast.
Yeah. They really sort of spiritually are. They're all very excited and happy, and we're just like
Grim.
drunk. Stephanie's doing math.
Stephanie's doing math, not meth, just to be
Math!
Like mathematics.
Yes, exactly. Wow. Are we done?
I think
don't
so.
know.
It's been 30 minutes and I got nothing else.
Lord.
This is depressing that we couldn't even cap 30 minutes talking about Korra this week.
Well, it was a transitory episode.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll have more to talk about, obviously, with the two-parter. Unless it's the biggest disappointment of my year.
Don't say that.
I watched part of it on somebody leaked on Tumblr.
Don't tell me.
Okay.